Welcome! In this video, we will learn the alphabet in Spanish along with examples on how to read and how to pronounce each one of the letters in Spanish. Letter A. The name is A and it sounds A. A. For example, animal, árbol, amarillo. Animal, árbol, amarillo. The name of letter B is B. B. And it sounds B. B. For example, burro, bolsa, boca. Burro, bolsa, boca. Letter C is called C. C. And it is going to sound different if it is used before letter E or I. If it is before letter A, O, U, or any consonant, it is going to sound K, like in casa, comida, cueva. Casa, comida, cueva. Sounds like K, casa. Because it is before A, but it changes when it is before E or I, and it is going to sound like letter S, like for example, cepillo, circo, círculo. Cepillo, circo, círculo. While this is not an official letter anymore, CH, also known as che, is very common in Spanish, and it sounds like this: ch, 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 che, and sounds like, for example, chocolate, chaleco, chorizo. Chocolate, chaleco, chorizo. Letter D is called de. D is de. Diamante, día, dormir. Diamante, día, dormir. Letter E in Spanish is E, and it always sounds like E. For example, elefante. Escuela, estudiar. Elefante, escuela, estudiar. The name of letter F in Spanish is F, and it sounds F, like for example, flor, familia, fiesta. Flor, familia, fiesta. Letter G in Spanish is G, and the sound of this letter is going to depend on what letter goes after it. So, if after letter G we have an A, O, U, or any consonant, it is going to sound like G. For example, gato, golosina, guante. So, if it's A, O, U, then it is going to sound G. Gato, golosina, guante, gracias, for example. But if after the letter G we have E or I, the sound is going to change to H. For example, gelatina, not gelatina, gelatina, gimnasio, gerente. Gelatina, gimnasio, gerente. If you find words with letter G followed by letter U and then letter E or letter I, then they are going to sound G. So, if there is no U and there is an E or I, they would sound like G, like gimnasio, gerente. But in this case, because there is G-U-E, then it goes to G. Example, guerrero, guía, águila. guerrero, guía, águila. When you find a word with G, U, and diéresis, which are the two little dots on top of the U, and then after that an E or an I, then you are going to pronounce the U. For example, cigüeña, cigüeña, you pronounce the U because it has a little two dots, diéresis. Pingüino, pingüino, and bilingüe. Cigüeña, pingüino, bilingüe. Letter H is called H, H, and in Spanish, the H is silent. You don't pronounce it. You don't pronounce it. For example, hospital, hermano, hielo. Not hospital, no, you don't pronounce it. Hospital, hermano, hielo. Letter I is called E, and it is always pronounced as E. E. Importante, Italia, impuesto. Always E. Importante, Italia, impuesto. Letter J is J, J. In Spanish, it's called J, and it always sounds like J. For example, juguete, Japón, jugo. Juguete, Japón, jugo. Letter K, K, and it always sounds like K, K. For example, karate, kayak, kiwi. Karate, kayak, kiwi. Letter L is called L in Spanish, L, and it sounds L. Limón, león, libro. Limón, león, libro. Even though double L is not an official word, it is very common in Spanish and it is called elle, elle, and it sounds like J. Lluvia, toalla, gallina. Lluvia, toalla, gallina. Double L. M is letter M, M, and it sounds just like in English. M. Manzana, amor, mercado. Manzana, amor, mercado. N. N is letter N, N, and like in English, it sounds like N. Niño, nido, nariz. Niño, nido, nariz. Another letter in Spanish, which is not in English, is ñ, ñ, and it sounds ñi. Niña, mañana, piña. Niña, mañana, piña. Letter O is O, not O, it's O, and it always sounds like O. Oso, oficina, ojos. Oso, oficina, ojos. Letter P is called P in Spanish. P, P, and it sounds like P. Like, pato, perro, papa. Pato, perro, papa. Letter Q in Spanish is called Q, Q, and it sounds like K. For example, queso, parque, paquete. Queso, parque, paquete. Letter R is R, and this is where you have to roll it. R, R, and it sounds like ratón, rosa, río. If it's at the beginning of the word, it's ratón, rosa, río. If the letter R is not at the beginning of the word, then the sound is going to change from R to R. For example, cara, cara, pera, toro, because it's in the middle of the word. It's not at the beginning of the word, so you don't say carra, you say cara, pera, toro. Letter S is called in Spanish S, S, and it sounds like S all the time. S. For example, sol, sobre, serpiente. Sol, sobre, serpiente. Letter T in Spanish is T, T, and it always sounds T, T. For example, tomate, tomate, tigre, tiburón. Tomate, tigre, tiburón. Letter U in Spanish, it's U, U, and it is always read as U, except in the examples that we saw with G, U, and Q, U, where the U is silent. But U is uva, unicornio, utensilio. Letter V in Spanish is V, and it always sounds like V. For example, vaca, viaje, vestido. Vaca, viaje, vestido. W in Spanish is W, W, and it sounds like waffle, whiskey, sandwich. Waffle, whiskey, sandwich. Letter X is called X, X, and it sounds like X, X, like a CS. For example, taxi, saxophone, boxeo. Taxi, saxophone, boxeo. Letter Y in Spanish is called Y, Y, and it sounds like a double L, Y, Y, Y. For example, yema, yoga, yate. Yema, yoga, yate. And the last letter in the alphabet is Z, 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 and it sounds like S, S. Zapato, zanahoria, zorro. Zapato, zanahoria, zorro.